Testy, testy, testy. All right. Hi. Good morning, 10 a.m. CET. My name is Piotr. Welcome you on Land of Trading channel. And we are gonna to try to make a test, a free version of our educational live trading room. We are trying to switch from the webinar rooms. We are trying to change the software we used, and we would like to switch into YouTube channel. So that's gonna be available for free for anyone. So instead of to be limited to the small number of people, we are trying to switch to a YouTube channel. Guys, I'm sorry, it's really. We are gonna to make some tests today. Of course, I'm gonna to discuss few charts, but also I have to focus. On the technical stuff here. It's quite new for me, so hopefully everything's gonna go smoothly. Generally, what we are trying to do during the August, we will try to make more tests. We are gonna try to be more active during that time. We'll see how it's gonna to be. All right, quick risk warning, guys. Trading FX on margin carries a high level of risk and may not be suitable for all investors. You can sustain a loss of some or all of your initial investment, so please do not invest the money that you cannot afford to lose. Seek education, gain experience before risking real money. However, past performance doesn't guarantee future results. All right. We are done with the risk warning. What is important, guys? More about us, more about the Land of Trading. If you don't know us, me, you can find on our website. Strongly suggest you to follow us on Twitter. Okay. What else? Guys, if you are a first time I would like to ensure that the colors on my charts are very important. In that case, just 1 second. Jeez. In that case, you are gonna to find the link to the previous webinars in the description window, so please do your homework, check what different colors means on my charts. What else is important? That's gonna be short today compared to what we are doing usually, but hopefully at some point at the very beginning of September we are gonna be ready to do that stuff in a proper way. Okay, so let's try to discuss few charts. Let's start with dollar yen, and let's start with daily chart. Most probably, if you follow us already, then you know the latest explanation. What may happen. Of course, we are not able to control the market. We have to try to check what's going on based on the left side of the chart. Usually we are trying to build two possible scenarios, means from the bull's perspective and from the bear's perspective. Okay. Regarding dollar yen, 1170 looks like it's the key, or could be the key, because of the previous price action around these levels. All right. And last week we were trying to fight, we were trying to hold 1170, and from the bear's perspective, that was the beautiful game last week. We were trying Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we had a long lower shadow, so most probably there was some kind of the manipulation. A lot of people was trying to buy this this dip, and Friday we broke to the downside through 1170, and right now 1170 is a key point again, right? Yesterday we broke through the possible demand here around 1130 towards 1080, and today earlier today on Twitter I published my idea about dollar yen, that short term intraday I like the longs around 1080. But that's only based on an intraday view. As long as we are below 1170, all right. As long as we are below 1170, there is a probability, there is a chance we are gonna to retest the zone between 110.30, 1850. Okay. So that could be the case before FOMC rate decision, before the statement or around the statement, depends how hawkish could it be. So any kind of the retest of 1170, 1180, 1210, that could be possible sell opportunity, right? That's from the bear's perspective. In case you are bullish dollar yen, the possibility will arise again on a close above, on a daily close and especially weekly close above 1180, 12, 10, 12, 20. Okay, in that case right now still space to the upside. So let's have a look how it looks on a shorter time frame. Right now, as we are trying to, that was the behind my idea about the longs around 1080, the potential inverted head and shoulders on a 1 hour chart. And if we are gonna to take into the consideration that the nearest potential supply is around 1170, 1180. So if we are gonna to fill up the target from this inverted head and shoulders, that is really again around 70, 80. So that could make sense. That's the logical place. Important thing, I'm very open to any kind of the critics, constructive critics. So if you want to share your view with us, then feel free to put your opinion on the chat. But again, please try to focus on what we are talking about. And if any question, any critics, so please, it has to be related to what we are doing here right now. Again, trying to repeat, that's the test version. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go briefly through a few charts, and as I mentioned, it's gonna be short today. Usually what we do, if you remember, if you are able to participate in our webinar rooms, so you know that once we decide to follow what we are discussing, we are doing is on a live account, and that's our plan. But as I mentioned, through the whole August, we are gonna to make some tests, and I have to focus not only on the chart but also on the software from the technical perspective. That's something new for me. Anyway, so that's how it looks from the dollar yen perspective. So if you are a bull, then 1080 was a quite good possible entry. Of course, we never know because we cannot control the market. All we can All we can do on the FX market, we can control our risk. So if that is true, if this inverted head and shoulder is gonna work based on this drop base Riley structure as well, then 1170, 1180 could be the key. So in that case, if you are a bull, if you are a long, that's your possible target. If you are an intraday bear, in my opinion, it's better to wait, be patient, and wait for 1170, 1180, 1210, based on what we can see here on the intraday chart as well. There is a risk, because we are below 1170, there is a risk that the bears will try to take the advantage of it, and they will try to push a little bit lower to cancel this inverted head and shoulders and to make it, to try to build bigger one, right? If you know Land of Trading project, then you know what I'm talking about. If you are a first time, you can hear something about us, then please check a few our previous recordings available on our channel. So in that case, they may try to build the bigger head and shoulders. In that case, it may look like this, that we will try to go deeper towards 110, all right, and we may try to build deeper inverted head and shoulders. In that case, if that's gonna happen, most probably at some point on a daily chart we are gonna to close above 1170, 1210, and that could be medium term bullish for dollar yen. Why is that? All right, Wednesday, tomorrow, we got the FOMC rate decision and statement only without the press conference, and market still doesn't believe into what FOMC and Yellen are doing, trying to sell dollar on any kind of the rallies. But if you are able to imagine or to try to expect what others are skipping, then that could be your advantage. In that case, let's check the yields, and maybe that's gonna be explanation what I'm talking about. Okay, 1 second. All right, the left side of this top is 10-year yields, right top 30-year yields, all right. The left bottom is a price of the bonds, right, price of the JGB, so Japanese government bonds. What is important, what happened yesterday, that's the daily chart, guys. What happened yesterday, we were trying to recover in yields on 10 years, so we were trying to find a support in a logical place, so we bounced, and we are trying to continue today. The same happened on 30 years yields. It's slightly different what we can see here on German bonds. That's the price, right? So price rose yesterday, means yields went lower, different than in US. Yields went a little bit higher, means price went down. In that case, that could be the rate differential could be behind the dollar strength. Of course, many of you and me as well, for now, our approach should be like only dead cat bounce. I would say that we are gonna be more clever. I think we may be more clever after the FOMC statement and after the market reaction into that statement. So for now, the yields in US trying to recover. So let's have a look on the dollar index before we will get back into the currency pairs. if we are talking about the dollar index, we are testing the possible demand on the daily chart. Still bottom here 93 cannot be ruled out, but that's the logical zone where we may see eventually dollar bounce, right? And from that perspective, move back above 94.10 could be a little bit more bullish and rally towards 95.85, the broken bottom from where we started after the election night in US. Okay, so let's get back to the platform. So for now, if we are gonna to go straight towards 1170, 1210 on dollar yen, that could be the selling opportunity. If first we are gonna to try to break through intraday support and make the lower low, right, then I would watch this potential inverted head and shoulders. But of course, from the bear scenario, you have to follow what's going on the market, right? So instead of doing nothing, then I'm gonna to make the, if we are gonna to break through this level, 1080, 1070, then from the bearish perspective, I'm gonna to make the new selling plan. So at every moment, I would like to have in place both possibilities, what may happen from the bullish perspective, what may happen from the bearish perspective. Even if my bias is towards, I don't know, higher levels, then having in mind the bearish scenario, I know where I may expect some kind of the trouble, possible supply or whatever. That's my case, that's my approach to the market. Okay, so I think that the dollar yen, we are okay with dollar yen. Let's switch to euro dollar, and that's very interesting thing. We broke through 1615, all right, and we are approaching 1710, another level, very important. And if we are gonna be able to break through and close above, it looks like 120 and 123.50, that's gonna be a matter of time. Anyway, most probably you are aware about this very long consolidation period. We were trying to break through 105. Bears failed here. So that already was the possibility to retest the top of this consolidation range. All right, that's the first important thing. The second important thing, what happened on a weekly chart, and I mentioned on Twitter about that, was the last week close and the previous week close. The previous week close was the highest within the 2.5 years, and the last week was simply the follow through, most probably shorts cancellation, and stuff like this. But the important development is the close above 1610. Now, what we're trying to do after the break of 1610, of course you are aware, we are trying to consolidate, and we were trying to retest yesterday. We are going to switch to intraday chart in a second, and I will try to explain the bullish scenario. So looks like after the test yesterday, we are trying to go towards 1710. So let's have a look how it may look like on the intraday basis. All right. First important thing is that we are trying to fight with this trend line through the tops. And what I've been waiting yesterday in my bullish scenario, I've been waiting for a retest and below these levels. I've been waiting for some kind of the, let's call it stop hunting, doesn't matter, whatever you want to call it. The important thing is to try to understand what I've been waiting for. So I've been waiting as a bull yesterday. I've been waiting for a move to the downside towards 1615, quick stop hunting, quick recovery, maybe with retest, and go higher. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. So today, jeez. So today we've got another level a little bit higher, and that's around 1625. So right now I've got my zone I'm looking at from the bullish perspective, but I'm not gonna to make any kind of the decision from the bullish perspective as long as I'm not gonna see any kind of the attempt to break lower, right? Okay, that's what I'm looking at right now from intraday perspective as a bull on euro dollar. As a bear, there are two possible scenarios right now. Either we are gonna to try to trade this head and shoulder, all right, and now we are creating the right shoulder. So in that case, within the bearish scenario, if we are gonna to try to fill up the target from this head and shoulder, then means that there is a chance to retest something like 1560, 1550, where we have the green box, which means possible demand based on the daily chart, right? And right below we have an intraday possible demand based on this huge rally. After this correction, huge rally, drop base rally formation. All right. Or here, what we may try to do, similar scenario I described on dollar yen, we may try to go higher to try to clean 1710, and if we are not gonna be able to hold above, we may create the bigger head and shoulders here, right? And that could provide the selling opportunity on a rally towards 1680 after all this happened, right? We've had a small head and shoulders here, failed. Right now, what I think from the bearish perspective, we may try to build the bigger head and shoulder based on this scenario. So trying to summarize, if you are a bull, for now you are waiting either for a price action around 1615 to confirm that we are trying to hold, and we will try to put the pressure on those who are trying to trade head and shoulders. So means we are gonna to retest 1615, but we are gonna to hold that level and pushing higher. That's the first bullish scenario. The second bullish scenario, we are gonna to break through 1710. We are gonna to try to consolidate the same way we are doing right now above 1615 and higher towards 120, right? So that's the bullish scenarios. From the bearish perspective, right now, it's worth to watch, and we are gonna to switch even to the lower time frame in a second. Let me make some cleanings here. Because what we did here, we were trying to make the rally and we failed at some point, and we broke through this possible support level, right? So we failed. So there is a possibility. I don't know, we cannot check anywhere, we are not behind those orders over there, so that's the important, that it's only possibility, potential supply there. And what I'm talking about is zone here. So let's have a look what the US Open may bring us. I'm gonna to watch if we are gonna to try to consolidate further within this zone, right? Then I would like to see at the beginning of at the US Open, maybe some kind of the rally above morning highs, and as a bear, trying to take the advantage of the of this zone here in around 1675.83, right? That's the short-term intraday perspective. But what you have to take into the consideration if you are a bear, the whole picture, right? The whole perspective. And for now, every day we are trying to go higher. So you have to be aware that there is a huge possibility we are trying to cancel this possible head and shoulders described a second ago, and we try to go higher to hit more possible stops above 17.00, right? And the key short term from the bear's perspective, 16.15. So going back to daily, if we are gonna be able to close below, then that's the possible demand based on a daily chart, right? So both scenario, bulls, bears, right now should be able to react in a proper way. I also mentioned that I like dollar CAD to the upside this morning on Twitter. All right, and that's the explanation here. Let me try to explain the green box. It's a daily possible demand, and it's based on the yes, and it's based on this this combination of this move to the upside here, right? As you can see here, we have a lime line. So at the very bottom of this whole possible demand, that's, from my perspective, very important zone. That's why I think if there is any chance we are gonna to see bounce here, so that should happen from this zone right here, right? So what else? Well, let me make it bigger. What else? We were trying to break through this bottom of the channel yesterday and we failed. So that's giving me a little bit of the what? Doesn't matter. That's saying, in my opinion, we've got the chance. I'm sorry, English is not my mother language, and most probably you can hear it. That's telling me that there is a possibility we will try to recover at least towards the top of this falling channel, right? I'm sorry. So that's why on Twitter I send out the information that I like longs from this level. So let's have a look how it looks on an intraday basis, and here it's not that clear yet, right? Because of this supply here. So it might be that from the conservative, if you are a conservative trader, right, from that perspective, it might be that you wanna wait and see if we are gonna to take out this supply, right? even better. Maybe even this supply. And then you wanna see the pullback and attempt to going higher. Overall, from the risk perspective, trying to get this kind of the approach, you have to ensure that at the very beginning, at least logically, you have a 3R possible. I mean 1 to 3 risk reward ratio 3R. All right. So that's what we do. But again, about the risk more, you're gonna be able to find on our channel. There is 2 videos about the risk, how I'm approaching from the risk perspective into the market, right? Otherwise, what I'm looking for, I'm gonna to watch it on a smaller time frame. I would like to see attempt to break lower with quick recovery above 25, and that would be my decision. My stop gonna be right below the failure, and the target is gonna be top of this channel. So in that case, I may have a risk about 15-20 pips to try to logically get to the top of the channel. So that's gonna be more than 3R. But of course, what you have to be aware that because we cannot control the prices, right? The real life will verify, but it's how you are gonna to how you are gonna to work with your position, right? For now, I'm not interested in shorts as long as we are not gonna to test the top of the channel, or as long as we are not gonna close, if we are not gonna have daily close below the zone, below the bottom of the channel. All right. So either I'm gonna to watch and check the bearish scenario at the top of the channel, or I wanna see daily close below. Then we may see some kind of the Niagara Falls, and that's something I may try to participate in. Okay. So that's how I see dollar CAD here. Again, guys, just reminder, that's test version of our live trading room. Through the whole August, we are gonna to try to make more tests. We are gonna to try to be more active in that field, and with the final version, we'll try to start at the very beginning of September. Okay, and right now, let's try to have a look what's going on the pound. And here, I think, from the bear's perspective, taking into the consideration what's happened yesterday, for now, for me, that's the hidden supply here. All right, based on this supply we've seen to the left. All right, so I'm watching, or I'm very interested where we are gonna to be around the US Open, and if we are gonna be still here, I would look for failure around 30-50 with at least 29.40 as the first target, 28.80 as the next target, right, towards 28, and that's where I see possible stops pull here. Okay, from the bullish perspective, still bulls should try to hold 29.40, 29.30. Right, and if that's gonna happen, that may open the way to test again 31.20. I'm more towards the downside. Okay, So my stop is gonna be very tight above yesterday high eventually if I'm gonna to decide to go short, and I'm not gonna think about the longs no earlier than around 28 40, 28, 20, depends what's going to happen around this low here. Okay, depends what the market is gonna to try to show me. That's how I see the pound from the daily chart perspective. Intraday, yesterday I think we took some stops here, right? So the question is today if we are gonna to try to go higher. I think that if yesterday we saw some kind of the stop hunting, so we shouldn't go higher than 30.47, 30.50 with this kind of the very tight stop. Otherwise, if we are gonna to try to go higher, then I'm gonna to watch before I will try to trade short side again. I'm gonna to watch what's going to happen around 30.65. Okay. Again, very tiny, very tiny stop. But here I would like to see the failure, and then eventually 31.10 based on action here. So I would expect that if we are gonna to retest 31.10, we should react. We would have a chance to react the same way as we did here, right? We'll see. All right, guys. If you like it, please subscribe. We should have another test around Thursday, so please follow us on Twitter. There are gonna be information on Twitter. I'm quite happy because from the technical perspective, I'm talking about the software and how those things are working here. I'm quite okay. I think that yeah, we should be fine by the end of the August. So real version at the very beginning of the September is very possible. Okay, guys, my name is Piotr. That was the test version of free live trading room on our channel in YouTube, Land of Trading. That's it from me. Don't be trapped later today. Remember about the FOMC tomorrow. Be careful. If anything, try to contact us on Twitter. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye.